Hello everyone. So today I thought I'll probably talk about something different from Emacs or Mode. Now of course I'm using Emacs because I want to show you something like my notes, my rough notes. But on this channel, BlackBerry Boy channel, I basically try to share a lot of things. Of course I don't really have just one focus on doing technical things on terminal or Linux org mode Emacs, but I also want to share my experience. Now I have I have a company in India, and I also have been trying to set up a company in UK. And running a company in India is of course not very difficult. People think it is difficult, but it is not. It is part of the process. It is part of the pain that you have to take, and it is actually applicable to any country. To be honest, I don't really think. Doing business in India, especially for IT. I may be wrong, but especially for IT, it is of course not massively difficult. You just need to follow the process, and you have to follow the process in each and every country. Of course, it might be slightly different, but things are in a way similar. Now, in UK, if you look at running a company, setting up a company, and doing those mentory things, it is actually quite similar to what we have in India, but today I just want to focus on my experience, and I want to give you this not really a guide, but an idea of how easy it is and what all you need to do. I mean, not each and everything, but like the main highlights that I have learned so far. And of course, I'm still in a process to learn. Of course, I'm not really a lawyer or a solicitor, and I'm not really an expert, but I mean, if you know me, I'm more of a geek. I mean, if you give me a laptop and internet connection, I'm happy. I can spend my entire day doing things on computer because I'm fascinated by how this particular machine works. So this is me. But at the same time, when you are trying to be financially independent, when you're trying to be on your own, even if you don't really want to, but you have to do things like set up a company, and this is how things are. I mean, if you're living outside, maybe if you're living off the grid, then maybe you're fine. Maybe you can just live your life, but that is not me. I prefer living in a city, and I prefer dealings with other people to earn money. I don't really mind that, but that is something that I'm not massively happy about. But at the same time, if I have to do it, I'll do it. And running a company and going through these things, dealing with those government procedures is something that you have to do. So there is no escape. But at the same time, it is not massively difficult. As I mentioned, I mean, you don't really need to hire like 10 people to just manage your marketing, or just you don't even need to hire a chartered accountant to do these things, or a lawyer. I mean, you can do a lot of things yourself. I mean, in the beginning, that is the thing. In the beginning, try to do things that you can, and wait for the point where it becomes difficult, where these things get into the way. Or maybe if you are spending too much time doing these things when you grow, then I think it makes sense to hire someone. But you should try to do it yourself in the beginning. And if you're like me, who prefer bootstrapping, then you would definitely enjoy the process of doing everything yourself. And it is also fun in a way. So let us talk about the process. So if you are in UK, I mean, of course you need to be in the UK, or you need to have the right to work in UK. But I'm assuming that you are from UK, and you have right to work here. So what you need to do, and by the way, this might be similar if you are doing it from outside UK. I mean, even if you're not a UK resident, you can still open a business here. But if you're in UK and you are trying to set up a company, and you think it is difficult, it is not. So let me talk about the process. So first of all, of course, you have to register the company, and registering a company is of course not very difficult. You just need to fill up a form online. I don't remember the cost, but I think it is £12, or maybe it's definitely not more than. It's not like a lot. It's like, you can do it with your mobile. I mean, don't use a mobile, use a laptop, but it is simple. You just need to fill up a form, and you need to decide who will be your director. So let us say if you are a director, or maybe if you think you need to be the director, you can, but you need at least one director. In India, you need two directors. Maybe the rules are different for a private limited company, but and by the way, this is for a private limited company. So you need to decide who will be the director, then fill up the form. Don't worry about those details like number of shares, just fill 111 and you're good. And by the way, these things can be modified later on. You just need to begin, right? And the main reason to register this company is because you need a code, company. You will get a company number, and you will get the certificate of incorporation, and you will get a letter back from the government that yes, this is our company. Now, when you register a company, you don't really need to do business or do trading. If you're, in UK the word is called as trading. So basically, you can actually open the company and you can just leave it, and you can actually file for. Because every year you have to tell the government what you did. Like you have to make your corporate tax return, and you can tell them that I didn't do anything. So there is a dormant. So basically, you can tell them, okay, there was no business. So don't worry about registering a company. It is just a simple process. Of course, you have to do those formalities, mandatory formalities. Now, after registering a company, when you get that company number or the certificate, you can open a bank account very easily. You just need, I believe, you bare minimum, you need that corporate, that letter that you will get from the government, and you can do it. So there are a lot of banks. For example, there is a bank called Counting Up, which I used in the beginning. It's like an app, and you can do it very easily. I believe they will probably ask you to upload or take a picture of your mandatory documents, and that is it. But if you want to deal, because there are a few things that are missing in these mobile-based banking apps. It's a proper bank, but you will probably not have all the features. And what you can do, you can probably go to any proper bank like NatWest. There is a reason why I chose NatWest, because they were also giving their free accounting software called Free Agent, which I talked about, by the way, which I will come to in a moment. So do that. And again, this is just based on my experience. Now, when you register a company, when you open your bank account, then at the same time you will be doing a lot of formalities, like remember the filing that you have to do every year for corporate tax or VAT or whatever. You have to do it by going to the government website. There is a link which you will find, by the way, whenever you initiate the process. But you have to sign up for a gateway account. It's called as gateway account. So do that. It is something that you have to do, and also set up the two-factor authentication. So whenever you're try to log in, it might ask you to enter the code that is generated from your mobile app. No, it is important, right? 2FA. Now, when you have a company, you have some mandatory formalities, like you have to file your corporate tax every year, even if you don't do any trading. So you have to register for the corporate tax, and it is, of course, something that you can do manually. There is a link online where you have to fill up a form, where you have to tell the government, basically you're telling them how much you earned, what was the income, what was the expenditure, and so on. So not really complicated, but you can do it manually, but there is a better way, and that is using the software. Also, at the same time, there's something called as VAT in UK, which you don't really have to, it's not really a mandatory thing in the beginning. I think there's a limit of £80,000, but it is recommended. I would say if you're serious about running a company, register for VAT, because I guess if you are starting a company and if you're trying to be on your own, then I guess you want to grow, right? So it makes sense if you register for it, because eventually you will have to. So do that. And again, it is just online thing that you have to do. You will get a number and they will send you a letter. You will usually get correspondence from whenever you do these things, you will probably get some correspondence, which I prefer, having like a piece of paper, and you can use it to, maybe whenever you are doing some transactions with bank, or sometimes you might have to upload that particular form or take a picture. So go for that option whenever you can, to get a paper. Not really a lot, but I think for important documents. And then at the same time, if you are planning to hire people, which you don't have to in the beginning, you can just be a director, but you don't really need to be an employee. But I guess if you're starting a company, you are hoping to hire people, or maybe you can be, I mean, the director can also be the employee. So you will have to register for the pay. If you are from India, it's like TDS. So basically, you will be paying the income tax, or basically the whenever you pay your employees, they have to pay tax, right? So this is something that you need to do, and then that is it. I mean, of course, there are few other things, but these are the bare minimum things that you have to do, and then you can start doing business. And when you start doing business, make sure you have all the documents at one place. Get yourself a website. These days, it is very easy. Do it yourself if you can, maybe using WordPress, or there are plenty of sites these days. I can also do that. I mean, if you want, I'm a Drupal developer. I can actually help you if you want. You can also make a company logo. So it's really fun things to do. I mean, and by the way, I use open source softwares to do it. For example, if I have to make a company logo, I'll use Inkscape, because you can create wonderful logos using Inkspace. And then at the same time, when you have your company logo, your company website, then of course it makes sense to create some templates for your documents, like proposals or letterhead or invoices, and any other documents that you may have, like NDAs, whatever. So do that, and it's nothing but a simple document that you can create using LibreOffice, or maybe use org mode, because yes, you can. I do that, by the way. I started using, not for each and everything, but I started using org mode for creating proposals. And when you create a proposal using org mode, you can actually export it to LaTeX with like header and footer. It is not perfect. It is not perfect yet, but I'm working on it. I'll probably make a video on this. It works because you can actually, I was hoping to replace my LibreOffice based templates with LaTeX, which I was able to do, but I'm still working on it. It needs improvement. And then talking about, of course, paying corporate tax, or keeping track of the money that is incoming and outgoing. What I used to do, or what I do for my Sparksys Indian company, I use Excel sheet. Not really Excel sheet, but I use Google Sheet, which I tried moving to. No, I don't use Excel, that Google Sheet anymore. I basically use LibreOffice because I have downloaded it to LibreOffice ODT file for my Indian transactions. But in UK, I use FreeAgent, which is a software. And by the way, also if you are, apart from the bank account, it is always good to have like a payment gateway like Stripe. I think I mentioned Stripe recently. For example, if you need to send, or if you need to get payment from someone, and that someone is trying to pay using, or can pay using, let us say, credit card, then having a payment gateway like Stripe keep things very simple. You generate a link, you send it to them. Maybe if you're generating an invoice, maybe you can share that link in the invoice. But I use FreeAgent. FreeAgent is, of course, the accounting software. You can do a lot of things. You can raise invoices. You can also connect it to your bank account. And by the way, FreeAgent is from NetWest. So you can use FreeAgent directly, but you will have to pay. But if you have NetWest account or bank account, then you will get FreeAgent for free, which is what I did, by the way, because why not? And it works. And it can do a lot of things, like it can because it will have all the money coming in, all the money going out. You can pay salaries, you can file for your corporate tax, you can file for your VAT return, and it will keep everything at one place. So my recommendation would be to use something like FreeAgent. If you're especially like me, you may have people to manage your accounts, but if you have, if you like doing things yourself, and if you want to keep your company small, there is no harm in, when I say grow your company, when I did mention about growing the company, right? But I'm not really talking about hiring like 1,000 people or growing in terms of number of people. I want to grow in terms of the business and the impact that I can make. And of course, I want to earn money. Who doesn't really want to earn money? So yes, if you are planning to grow money-wise, business-wise, then you can still stay small but grow. And using a tool like FreeAgent will help a lot. And by the way, so far I have been able to manage it myself. And even for my Indian company, I do have a CA there, because you need a CA in India to, I think that is a requirement. You need a CA to sign. But I basically prepare all the balance sheets myself, which is not really a complicated thing, to be honest. And here in UK it is even simpler. So in this video, I basically wanted to share these things because I felt like this can be useful. People who are like me, they are smart, they are intelligent, they think they can do a lot of wonderful things, but they think at the same time running a company can be difficult and they stay away from it. It is not. I agree it is a bit of a pain. I agree it is something that I don't massively enjoy all the time, but if I have to do it, I'll do it. I mean, not each and everything can be super enjoyable in life, but at the same time, if you're able to do these things, if you're able to take the pain once in a while, like, I mean, I don't really do these things each and every day, but if you're able to do it yourself, then you will get a lot of other benefits. Like you can have your own company, a small company, you can be financially independent, you can earn more money, you can be a millionaire, which is of course definitely my plan. And whenever you think you have the capacity to hire someone money wise, you can always hire an accountant. But to be honest, in UK they do charge a lot of money. I guess even if you go for the lowest plan, they charge, I guess, 130, 150 pounds, which is a lot per month, to be honest. And you don't really need to do that because you can do it yourself. So why not do it yourself in the beginning, if you can. So that is all. That is all I wanted to talk about in this video. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.